Who's wrong and who's wronger? In this corner, followed by millions, James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell. And in that corner, ignored by millions, Steve Dash Rinko Levers.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wrong and Wronger, and I'm just sharing an inside joke with myself because I can't really share one with the guy sitting across from me, James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell. I'm Steve Olivas, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's Breakwell like Crispin Glover. But James, before I go any further, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing amazing because this podcast is almost over, right? The clock is running. Just counting down to that 25-minute mark. Oh, don't tell me that.
Well, this is the podcast where we do a couple of things. One, we have a debate every week that the debate then gets put out to you, the listener and the watcher, and you decide which one of us wins the debate, and the loser has to post a video on YouTube. And James, the reviews for my penalty video this week are in, and they are just fabulous. I've got whimsical. One called it, it's like Olivas is like, I can't even talk right now. I'm so overwhelmed with the passion of this one tweeter where they said it's like bounding on the delightful whimsy of a gentle breeze. That's what Steve Olivas was.
The only two comments I saw before I just, had to distance myself from that train wreck, the only two comments I saw were, is he dead? Did this one finally kill him? Which I wasn't sure, up until you called to start the podcast tonight, I really wasn't sure if you were alive or dead, and I didn't care enough to check. I was just going to let it play out. I was already mentally making excuses for why I couldn't go to your funeral, and I had some good ones lined up. I'll have to save those for the next time when you actually do die, so just be aware I'm ready.
And this is like when there's when it snows real heavy in the morning and you think you're not going to school, but then you find out school is actually in session, how disappointed you are. Yeah. That's probably how you felt when you saw the phone ring.
Oh, yeah, it was a little crushing. I tried to hide it, but inside I was deader than usual. It was not the best phone call I've ever gotten.
I was deader than usual. I like that.
Yes.
All right. Well, James, the vote this week. I just wanted to mention, last week we joked about how we often say that this was the closest vote in the history of Wrong and Wronger. This week had to have been the closest vote because we were dead tied until a couple of hours before the deadline.
It was literally tied, and it does. And Twitter, the way it does it doesn't tell you the number that you actually have. It gives you a percentage. So then you have to go back and do math like a caveman to figure out how many votes you had. And there was really no way for us to parse it. I guess if we had both ended up with the same percentage, in theory it would have picked one or the other to win, but I think when it finally came down to it, it finally bumped me up by 1 percentage point. But it was close. Yeah. It was I was nervous. I didn't have a dance in me this week, and your dance almost killed you. So clearly it was high stakes. I mean, this is getting to be life or death. This is serious business.
You put a couple of desperate pleas out there on the Twitter for your followers to rally, and apparently they did at the 11th hour, so good on you.
Yes, they spared me humiliation, which your followers were not willing to spare you. So apparently the internet overall has some fairly good judgment some of the time.
Well, and they got a rare treat, a feast for the eyes and the ears this week for my penalty video.
Oh, you couldn't see me there, but I just shuddered. It was something else. I left into the part. You had it perfectly synced up. It was really easy for me to sync with the main video because you had to do it by yourself. So you tap play and then sprinted back into position. And I left that in there because it was easier for syncing, and I just wanted people to understand the grace they could expect from the rest of the video as they saw you stampeding down the hall. It's going to be more of this. Take it or leave it. And they appear to have taken it for one reason or another.
I'm glad you said that because I saw it and my first reaction was, why the hell did he leave that in there? Usually you shave those off. The head and the tail get cut off.
I feel like it was artistically relevant. It was the director's cut.
Well, speaking of artistry, there is an opportunity, there is a possibility that this week both of us may actually record a podcast sitting face to freaking face Do you want to talk about that, James, or are you still trying to get the house ready for the purge? That kind of thing when Oliva shows up.
I mean, I'm not. I don't really want to talk about it. It's like one of those family secrets you just want to hide and never acknowledge. But yes, apparently the borders on Indiana are not as secure as I thought, and they're going to allow Steve to cross at some point. So he will be in my general vicinity. So we're going to record a podcast, at least in theory, in the same place, in this very house. Probably not in this very room. These quarters are a little tight. I don't want to be within like 6 inches of you, but maybe like across a kitchen table or a kitchen island or something. But we will be very close to each other as we record this, and it's going to be unnerving to say the least.
Now, when we met the first time, you were rather relieved that I didn't murder you, but now I got access to your whole family. Like, you must really trust implicitly the goodness that is Dr. Steve.
I don't trust your goodness at all, but I've seen you dance. I know your cardio. You don't have it in you to murder me. You'd be too worn out.
Wow. Well, with that, we're going to slide very gracefully, like myself, as the Black Swan, into the compliment portion of our program.
Should we say the topic first? We probably should tease that at the top of the hour.
Oh, man, we should have done that right at the front. I apologize. I blame you. I shouldn't have let you move away from that. Yeah.
Yes, everything is my fault. We know this from my wife and kids as well, so we'll play into that train. That's the way the world works. But our topic today actually is about these guys right here, bananas.
What?
Yeah, the topic is, what's the right way to open a banana? Do you open it from the tip right here, or do you open it from the stem or the base? I'm not a bananaologist. I don't know the exact terminology, but that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with the tip and the stem or the base. Who in their right
mind would open it the wrong way?
Yeah, I know. I can't believe there's a second way either, but the right way is the one that the Guam Quarter of Fate is going to tell me, and that's the hill I will die on.
Where did you even hear that there was a second way to do this?
This took the internet by storm a couple of years ago. You got to understand, I get in on every controversy a few years too late. But like, I looked at this, I looked at the video, I saw the two options, and I made a conscious decision, and my life was better for it. And now I would like to share that better way with our viewers and listeners.
Wow.
However they want to ingest this podcast, like they ingest a banana. So, do you want to go ahead and flip for that, and then we can move on to the compliments?
Wow, you want to flip ahead of time.
Yes.
Usually you just pick up the ball and run. All right, well, I do have the Guam Quarter of Fate with me, as I am in Nashville, Tennessee, one more time before I pack up the car and head to the frozen tundra of James Breakwell's house. The Breakwell residence. Yes. I'm going to take a lot of selfies there because it's going to be, I'm just going to germ all over you. You're one of my heroes, James. I got to tell you, it'll be all tingly when I walk through the door. All right,
your visit was suddenly canceled. I hate to inform you that something just came up. So heads is the tip of the banana, and tails is the stem, the side that connects to the banana tree.
Okay, I would have thought I would have thought those two would have been synonymous, but you have cleared that up for me. So the tip is the part that grows on the bottom of the banana, basically.
Yes, the tip is away from the banana tree.
Okay, and heads is the tip?
Heads is the tip, and tails is the stem that connects to the banana tree.
All right, here we go. Heads is the tip, tails is the... Nope, I dropped it, and it is... It is tails. You have the stem part that connects the banana to the bunch.
Okay, well, that should make this easy. So let's move into the compliments first. I'm going to let you go first because I know you have so many nice things to say about me that you have to write them down beforehand to make sure you get them right. So go ahead, and based on the niceness of your compliment, I'll evaluate what I should say about you.
I actually have two because you understood my Crispin Glover compliment. I was going to go with Jay Baruchel or Emo Phillips for my second or tertiary, just in case you didn't get the Crispin Glover one. But the one that I had written down ahead of time Are you looking confused in the camera right now?
Yes, I am.
Figured. Yeah. All right. The compliment that I have is, James, you are so hospitable, and by you, I'm probably talking to your wife, that you will invite anybody into your home. Do you know how many people have invited me into their home over the years? I still haven't met my wife's parents. I understand they're very nice people, but they have put the gauntlet down and said, no way, we have a no Olivas policy here. And then when my wife's name became Olivas, we got into a weird gray area that the attorneys were involved with. But the fact that you're welcoming me into your home, and this was at your behest, tells me that you are so much more kinder and gentler than the James Breakwell I met 1 year and 2 weeks ago.
And I would like to, segueing into that, my compliment to you is I would like to compliment you for being so trusting that you will walk headlong into a trap without doing any research. So thank you for that. When you walk in the door, don't look up or down, don't look around for tripwires or darts in the wall or, pits of snakes. Just step right in that door and trust that I have your best interests at heart. Ignoring all of the evidence to the contrary. 54 episodes now of unending hostility, but for some reason, I am now nice enough to invite you into my home. So take that for what it's worth. Good for you.
It's weird that the address you wrote down for me is in Yemen. I'm not sure how this works exactly, but I'll be there.
Excellent.
All right. So you have the stem of the banana. We have 11 minutes of this show already in the bag. And so what do you have to say about stems?
This is going to be the easiest debate ever. So when this went viral, the whole thing was that monkeys apparently...
It went viral?
Yeah, this whole argument a few years back, that monkeys, they squeeze the tip and they pop it open, and that's how they eat it. But human beings open it from the stem. Everybody opens it from the stem, and that's the reason why this video got so much attention. Everybody was looking at these monkeys going, what the hell are they doing? Why are they opening it from the wrong end? And you know what? If monkeys are doing something, we probably shouldn't be. There's a reason we split on the evolutionary chain. There's a reason we surpassed them. Planet of the Apes is not real. We are the dominant species of the world. And the reason for that is we know what we're doing. We know how to cook food. We know how to hunt food with tools. And we know how to open a banana. You take it here with the stem and you pop it open. Watch, I'm going to win this debate right now. I'm going to open this right now on this podcast. And it's just going to, look at the ease of that. Look at that delicious looking banana. So simple. This is how it's done right there. And I don't know what you can possibly say to counter that. I just proved that you open from the stem.
James, I would whip out my banana right now, but I am not prepared. And so for that reason, I will just go with describing it rather than showing it to the viewers. But you are absolutely correct, sir, when you say that man is the animal that has made friends with tools. And the thing about the banana and the stem, I think the stem, we'll call it the stem. The thing about the banana and the stem end is, and I don't know how many times this has happened to you. I notice it didn't happen this time because you very carefully grabbed your banana on that one. But when you pull too hard sometimes, especially if the banana's a little bit green, you get some torque in there. And what happens is you squish your banana. And James, I'm sure that you, above all other people, do not like a squishy banana. I know that I don't, and I'm not going to belabor this point, but the way that you have to do the banana properly...
I knew your mind was going to immediately go to the gutter. I was like, is Steve Olivas mature enough to handle this topic? No, he absolutely is not.
I can't stop it, man. It's like a freight train with no brakes, like that movie with Denzel and Chris Pine, who was in one of your favorite Star Trek movies. Anyway, the way that you do it is you take a knife and you just make a little on that bottom end of the banana, and then you can peel it aside without squishing anything. If you want the perfect banana, that is the only way I can think of that allows you to open it. We got to trash this whole thing, come up with a new topic, don't we? Is that what's going on? You're going to hit the dump button
I'm doing amazing winning this argument, and you've just reverted back to 5th grade. So, this is fully expected. Let's just finish the train wreck here. Keep our bananas safe. Are you done embarrassing yourself yet? Can I jump back in here, or do you have more to go? I don't want to derail your train too early.
No, please do. And thank you for extending my metaphor.
If you need a second tool to open a banana, you're doing it wrong. This is not a process that should require leverage. It's not a process that should require, metallic tools that have been refined in a factory somewhere. It's the simplest thing in the world. There's a handle built onto your banana right there. You just grab it and twist. It gives you leverage. That's how science works. By being extended like that, you just push on it gently and it splits wide open. It's as easy as can be. I mean, there's a reason this end of the banana is attached to the tree. This is how it holds itself in there. It's made for gripping. So you grip it with your fingers, you peel it apart, and you're done. It's the way human beings have done it for literally thousands of years, all the way up until that YouTube video came out a couple years ago. We're like, oh, monkeys do it the other way. Maybe we should try that. Well, you know what else monkeys do? They fling their poo at each other. I'm not going to go fling my poo at anybody, and I'm certainly not going to open my banana from the wrong end. You open it from the stem end, and that's all there is to it.
James, I, being a fifth grader, have no problem flinging poo at anybody at any time. But I will say all great works of art require a tool. Picasso used a paintbrush. Mozart used a harpsichord to compose. And so all the great banana eaters of the world, they use just a little butter knife. That's all that it takes to make a slit on the end. And listen, James, to all of the aggressive verbs that you have been using. Grip it, pull it, yank it, torque it. And some of those I might have made up. But the point is that I'm talking a delicate, a little light Vivaldi playing sprightly in the background when you just take that little slit, peel gently the banana peeling bag, and then you have access to all of the fresh fruit in its form that God intended for it to be, firm. And just bountiful. It's not banana pudding that you sludge out of the end or whatever you do over there. My verbiage is the verbiage of the genteel, of the bourgeois, not the working class. You working class people still hit stones together to open your bananas. That ain't the way that Olivas rolls, and that ain't the way the Twitter voters are going to roll.
You clearly don't even understand what this debate is about. We're debating if you open from the tip or the stem, and you're in here talking about you need to use a butter knife. He's just indiscriminately stabbing this banana. But the butter knife was not one of the positions, and the butter knife was definitely not featured in those viral YouTube videos. You clearly did not open the packet of research I sent you before tonight's topic. I mean, we're
it arrived by Gorillagram.
Yeah. You're supposed to put in 10 or 12 hours of research into this every week, and you're dropping the ball here. But yeah, you don't, even if you want to open it the wrong way, you don't need a butter knife for that. You just squeeze it at the tip. But the problem is if you squeeze the tip, you smash the tip together, and it's a lot harder to do it. It requires a lot more pressure as opposed to opening it from the other end where it pops open as easy as can be. I mean, it's so easy they practically fall open that way on their own. This banana has clearly been designed with a handle in mind. There's a reason that billions of people looked at a banana and their first thought was, oh, let's grab it this way and open it with the stem. And the only way they could be shown otherwise was a YouTube video. And spoiler alert, YouTube videos are not a great source of ideas, okay? Point to any other example of a good idea that's come from a YouTube video. In general, you go to YouTube when you want to see what's wrong with humanity. You want to prove the decline of Western civilization. And learning from monkeys is step one towards that. I mean, if you want to go down the road of Planet of the Apes and letting them take over, by all means, let them dictate how you open a banana. But me, I am a human being. I take pride in my species and our domination of this planet, and I will open it from the stem like a person, and that's all there is to it.
Like a barbaric person that has to lap up the banana because it's not in its firm form. Let's take a look at some of the great ape heroes of the past. We got Magilla Gorilla. We got Grape Ape. We got Mighty Joe Young. We got that big one that's in the Rock movie that just came out. There's a lot out there that we could learn a thing or two from because who are the banana experts? When your car breaks down, you don't take it to an optometrist. You take it to a mechanic. So watching the apes and some of the primates eat bananas because that's all they do. They put their 10,000 hours into banana eating. They're going to teach us the best way because they've done it every way, and this is the way that they choose. I'm going to go with God on this one, nature and evolution.
That you made a good point for me. That is all they do. All they know how to do is open bananas the wrong way. Maybe if they opened bananas the right way, they would have enough free time left over to advance as a species, to use other tools, to specialize, get agriculture, and basically advance beyond the savages that they are in the wild. But they haven't figured that out. They're just animals giving into their animal instincts, and those animal instincts say, "Hey, rip open this banana from the wrong end." You know what? I bet the point where we divide in our evolutionary tree is when some of the monkeys got smart enough and they're like, "Hey, let's open it from the stem." And they got bigger brains and they got smarter and they started walking upright and you got human beings. And then the other branch, they said, "Let's keep opening it from the wrong way." And they grew longer monkey tails and they went to live in trees. I mean, do you still want to live in a tree? I would like to walk upright like a man and use my man hands and my opposable thumbs and my bigger brain to open this banana the way it is supposed to be opened, from the stem.
First of all, having a monkey tail would be just about the coolest thing I can think of. And so I am envious. I have tail envy of all of those monkeys. And second of all, 1,000,000 monkeys on 1,000,000 typewriters are going to, at some point, write Shakespeare. So how do you argue with that frontal lobe, that prefrontal cortex that the monkeys have? God, James Breakwell. We've got to figure out how these fans can vote for Steve. So I'm pretty sure you're going to roll for Steve the winning number this week. You got I hear it, I see it. You got those dice a-tumbling like Mick Jagger sang.
All right, hold on. Let me get this going here. So for you this week, your number is 54. So if you want to vote for Steve, I do me first, but today we're doing Steve first. If you want to vote for Steve and his crazy theory that you should open a banana from the tip like a monster, then vote for 54. If you want to vote for me, James, and open it from the stem like mankind has been doing since literally the dawn of time, you should vote for 15. And if you want to throw away your vote on a random, you can vote for 2, just the number 2.
Wow, Willie Randolph. All right, number 2.
Did Willie Randolph open his bananas the wrong way too? I bet not. I bet he opened them the right way.
Willie Randolph was probably rich enough that he had other people open his banana for him.
A designated
and
banana opener.
And I'm fairly certain if you had enough wealth, James, you wouldn't ever handle your own banana.
I aspire to get to the point in my podcasting career where I can pay other people to open my bananas, but I am not there yet. I am just a simple man opening my bananas from the stem like a regular human being. And if you would like to, go ahead.
I want you to capture that sound bite of I want to hit a point where I have other people open my banana. I just want to be able to play that over and over again. Just drop it into the show randomly. I love that.
But if you would like to see us continue to do regular people things and Steve to continue losing arguments, you should subscribe wherever you're listening to this. If you like to listen to voice only, which is an excellent choice because then you don't have to see me flinging this banana around, you can listen on Stitcher, which is my preferred way to listen, or SoundCloud, iTunes, Podcast Addict. Baby. All are great ways to subscribe. Or you can watch us on our YouTube channel, Wrong and Wronger. I'm sorry, I got the word wrong there. Wrong and Wronger. And that's where we post the penalty videos as well. So you get to see our beautiful faces, or my beautiful face, and Steve's, face. And then you get to see me actually illustrating where on the banana you should open. It's a whole extra visual reference that you just can't get from the verbal description. YouTube is really the full experience, but however you can get it in, just take in the podcast however you can, and your life will be better for it. Except for the parts when Steve is talking, and you should probably just hit the mute button.
This has been my favorite episode ever. What a great topic. This has been fantastic. But yes, we are on a subscriber drive, like NPR goes on a fund drive. We're going to try to fill the thermometer. Or in this case, I guess we can fill the banana. Please, people, take care of our banana. Make sure that it stays as bold and as upright as it can be. And let's get those subscriptions up on YouTube and SoundCloud and Stitcher and iTunes, all the places. Make accounts. Tell your friends to make dummy accounts and just start. We're going to hit 1 million. We're almost there. We're about 1 million short right now, but we'll get there.
And let me promise you this. If you subscribe, we will never mention bananas again. That is my solemn vow.
But James wants to get big enough. Anyway, I'm not going to belabor the point because Milk-Toast Breakwell over there is getting a little nervous.
All right, close us out. Get us out of here.
So go to all of those places. Find Unicorn on Twitter and Facebook and vote so that we get a winner, and you can probably see one of us do another awesome dance next week. And it's going to be Breakwell's kids, I'm pretty sure. So until next week, where we try to grow up a little bit, but Breakwell just kept feeding me. And what am I going to do? I mean, I had no choice in the matter, really. But tune in next week for another episode of Wrong and Wronger. And until then, this is Steve Olivas for James, the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell, saying thanks for watching and thanks for listening. And always remember, 2 wrongs can, over here, he's over here. 2 wrongs can make a right. Thanks, everybody.